What's good, y'all? It has been a wonderful, wonderful year for the genre of anime, and I'm here to share my personal recap of 2024, the things that I watched, the takes on what I watched. I didn't watch that much stuff, to be quite honest, but the stuff I did watch um, was very good in my own personal opinion. I think I have some of the best taste in the anime community. That's just me thinking. But without further ado, let's get into this recap. So this is the shows and stuff that I watched this year. Starting off with number one, Solo Leveling season one. I mean, what can't you say about Solo Leveling? It was such a refreshing anime, especially at the beginning of the year. I ordered these um, in order of when they came out, like during the year. So this was in the winter. So the start of 2024 started off with a bang with Solo Leveling. Popular Korean manga. I ain't going into all of that, but me personally, this set the tone for this year, and it I don't, I'm gonna say it carried it out, but the beginning and the end were definitely bangers. So Solo Leveling is the first one that I watched. Next is Hokkaido Gals. Are super adorable now. This I don't, this year I was trying to expand my range. I was trying to expand the taste that I had anime to, so romance, fantasy. So I got a little adventurous this year. I ain't gonna lie to you. So this was an attempt in that. This also came out in the winter, and it was actually so good that I started reading the manga. So I've gotten pretty deep into the manga. I think it would be considered. I don't want to give a specific number in cap, but I think it would be like around the end of season 2 mark. Like there's a whole fireworks thing going on. For those of you who know, you can put it down in the comments. I made it to that point. So yeah, but this was a great show. I watched the English dub and the subversions. I like the English dub more because of that country accent. Not country accent, but it's kind of like a mix of country and Canadian that she was saying. I thought it was super cute and adorable. Characters is good. I really enjoyed Hokkaido. Next is Tales of the Wedding Rings. Now, this is obviously an ecchi, right? But I heard the opening, and I was like, you know what? Let me give this thing. Let me give this thing a shot. And this was fun. This was a very fun show. Of course, it had its fan service moments and everything like that. But the story of it, I really, really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed the world building, the explanation of the world that they did, and exposition that they did throughout the season. I thought it was really interesting, and it was so good that it kept me watching. So this was another me testing, my taste, trying to expand my palette, in terms of anime that I intake and that I watch. And this was one that I finished. All of these are ones in here, the ones that I finished. I'm not counting the ones that I watched and then I stopped because there's like 4 or 5 of those. But this was one that kept me hooked from the beginning to the end, and I enjoyed what Tales of the Wedding Rings was. Next, we have Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2. Oh, man, it was so good to be back with Rudius. I'm forgetting her name, Sophie, and Sophie, seeing their family life and how they tried to make that balance. Of course, encompassed with the whole mom, the mission when they went to the dungeon, and what happened with Paul happened. I don't want to talk on that. But overall, this was a very chill season. I really liked the at-home stuff. The introduction of the sisters was amazing to the story for me personally, and I really did enjoy the season. It was definitely different from prior seasons that were a lot more action heavy, but I remember saying this in my episodes review that I was doing. I don't mind the slower pace and tone of a show. I don't mind that as long as it's good and as long as it doesn't overstay its welcome. This it made sense the way it was. So when it introduced the action, it wasn't as much compared to the overall season, but when it did what it was supposed to do. So I really enjoyed Mushoku Tensei this year, and I look forward to continuing it in 2025 and beyond. Now we have Demon Slayer: The Hashira Training Arc. personally, not the best Demon Slayer season. That ending was fire though. I can't lie. It set up that movie beautifully. But as you'll see later on, as I get into the ranking of these shows, it's not particularly high up there. It was definitely a filler season, uh, as some would say. So, but I still enjoyed it. The character building, getting to know the Hashiras, everything like that. I really enjoyed all of that. So, it wasn't a bad season, but definitely the weakest of the Demon Slayer seasons thus far. Next, we have Kaiju number 8. When I first saw the trailers for this, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. You know, I like the suits and that they're shooting them, and I'm growing more and more into the like kaiju, Godzilla stuff. I'm liking it more and more. Pacific Rim is my movie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting more into that kaiju range and liking like those stories, and then I watched the show and it was super funny, and that caught me off guard. So, it being super funny, and then you stay for the funniness, and then it hits the midway part in the season, and you figure out like there's something more going on. This could get really bad really quickly. It could get really serious, and I really enjoyed that. How it kept me tailing along, and then boom, it hit me with the seriousness that I know the author really wanted to start out in the gate, but to get people's foot in the door of a concept that has been done a lot, he did a wonderful job of that. And shout out to Toho Animation for staying faithful or true to that. I haven't read it, but they did a good job with onboarding people to this project and of Kaiju number 8, and I'm definitely going to be watching future seasons of it. So huge surprise to me, Kaiju number 8, and I know a lot of people liked it. Shout out to that ending by One Republic, fire. Next we have My Hero Academia, another one that's kind of in the same vein as Demon Slayer, but I don't want to disrespect it. This season 7 had a lot of fire moments, and if they're watching this video right now, shout out Miles, Boulder Evo. I had caught up to My Hero with them, and this is the season that I caught up to, and I was able to watch episode by episode with them. So even though I was low on and off, you know what I mean, but it was still fun to watch it with them, and I'm gonna forever remember My Hero as a team effort, a combined effort, and a shared experience that I have with them. So that definitely makes My Hero way more special for me personally. But as for this season, it had a lot of good moments, a lot of good character moments, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm ready, where I think this show should have been over. The stuff with All For One, I think he should have been gone. I think he's overstaying his welcome. They're gonna they built it off the last episode, and they're gonna obviously go into a fight with him and All Might one last time. I think the old head stuff should have been gone, and it should just be Deku and Crybaby Beach with the arms coming out. So yeah, the season was okay, but I feel I'm just ready for this show to. I think it's overstaying its welcome. But the character stuff that was in it, the writing is very, very, very good. Some season 3 level stuff of character writing going on here. So definitely a good season. Not my favorite, but I think I'm just ready for this show to be over. To be completely honest with you. But yeah, that's my thoughts on My Hero. Next we have Viral Hit. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this, and I did a reaction on my channel, I was like, this is crazy, bro. This is absolutely insane. But I liked the craziness of it. I knew it was going to be comedic. I knew it was going to be funny. The chicken dude. I mean, I knew that this was something that might be right up my alley. And oh boy, was it. I mean, from episode 1, from the opening, wow boy, to the facial expressions. I mean, this show, this project is oozing with charisma and life and just fun energy, bruh. So Season one was amazing. I like the fighting elements that they put in there. I'm not no trained fighter or anything like that. I do like to, watch UFC time to time, boxing, whatever, yada yada yada. I like my martial arts movies. Um, I'm not the most known in fighting technique and things like that, but I do like how they try to incorporate the real life techniques and advantages and disadvantages to different stuff in this show, mixed in with the comedy. I think is really good, and the comedy was well worked throughout the entire thing. Shout out to Hoban, everybody, the whole team, to old girl who acts like an old lady. This was a good show, and I'm definitely looking. I might read the manga for this one. I ain't gonna lie. If the next season is as good or better than this one, I think I'm gonna get into reading the manga. Now, next we have Fable. This is the wrong picture. There we go. The Fable. Now, a lot of people don't know what this is. Hulu does a terrible freaking job at promoting the animes that they have. Disney does a terrible job of promoting the animes they have. They freaking did it with Undead Unluck, which led me to not knowing that the show even existed, and I didn't even watch it. Even though I finally went to watch it and watched that first episode, I was uninvested. Poor, terrible marketing. I found this just randomly scrolling one night on the feed, and I was like, Fable. This, I liked how his face was drawn. It looked kind of serious. I said, let me check this out. Let me give it a try. It didn't have no dub version of it, so I was like, okay, so this is something that's very niche. Watched it. Amazing show. One of the best shows of this year. If you have not seen The Fable, you need to check it out. I think that I definitely think this is an older manga, or whatever, because I saw that they made a live action version in 2019. So this may be well known over in Japan. I'm really confident about that. But as far as over here, if you're in the US or in the West, or not in Japan, check this show out. You are going to have a blast if you like assassins, hitmen type of stuff with comedy and it in a unique, different take on it, with the whole straight man style gimmick. I think this is going to be a real surprise to a lot of people, and this is definitely one of my recommendations for 2024. The Fable, great show. I got through it in like 5 days, so that's good for me personally. Next we have Oshinoko season 2. Now in this season, was it as good as the first one? I would say it's about even par. The first season started off really strong. That opening slapped all of us, right? This opening is amazing, right? And the stuff with kept people hooked. As the episodes went on, season 1, kind of petered into, it kind of got to not a standstill, but is very, very consistent, very good, right? This, I feel like it was more of the same. They kind of didn't progress off of the the guy finding Aqua finding more out about his mom. They played into that a little bit this season, on and off, but the main thing of this season wasn't even Ruby. It was Aqua and this whole play thing that you see going on right here. So in my personal opinion, it was a fine season. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst of the shows that came out. I didn't particularly like the opening of this season. I'm not expecting them to outdo the first one, Idol. Like that's not the type of person I am. But I didn't particularly like the opening. I thought the ending was decent. But overall, this was a solid season. Nothing to write home about. But I am going to be continuing watching Oshinoko to see how this story progresses. Next, we have the one that just came in and stole everything, Don to Don. Now, I'm so glad that I locked in when I locked in, and I got to be a part of this Don to Don rave and craze that's going on and is still going on. That took a lot of the shine from Solo Leveling being the anime of the year. You know what I mean? In a lot of people's eyes. So what what can't I say about freaking Don to Don, bro? It's fun. It's like oh, how was I talking? It's like viral hit, but 10 times better. Like I want to say like viral, like the energy, like it's oozing with uniqueness and the character designs, the music. I love the OST for this show. I love the opening. I love the ending. The how they use the concept of the ghost and the aliens and how they mix it together and how they're making a story and you're doing something unique with the traditional tropes that or the traditional sense of how people view the ghost and the aliens. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's excellent and it's very creative, very very creative. This is a creative masterpiece, a creative masterclass in writing, character design, direction, music, everything creative. This is a creative powerhouse, and this, for a lot of people, is going to be Anime of the Year. And I don't care if the plot may not be as strong as a solo leveling or anything like that. It being itself is enough, and I understand anybody who would put it as number one for them for on their list of Anime of the Year, without a shadow of a doubt. Great, 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 great show. Next, we have one that's near and dear to my heart, Bleach. I kind of talked about it on the channel a little bit, I think, but like I say often, I started anime my anime journey in 2022, so I guess this is the 3-4 year. I'm getting into the 3-4 year mark now, and I went back and I watched Bleach, and I remember just going on a little tangent into my Bleach love, if I could do that. I had encountered Bleach when I was younger in manga form, right? My friends were huge anime people. I wasn't a huge anime person because household I was raised in. I'll just leave it at that. But I'm glad that I didn't watch it, and I'm glad I'm watching it now compared to as a kid. But anyway, I encountered Bleach as a manga, right? And something about the art, something, it had this presence, right, that I was gravitated towards. I think I read one volume of the manga, and I didn't like continue on from there and have the funds or whatever to keep going. Just kind of faded off. So Bleach has always been in my subconscious, waiting to be reignited in its entirety. So when I went back and I watched Bleach and I caught up and I went back to catch up for when the 1,000 Year Blood War was going to start. When I did that journey and I caught up before it started to be with everybody, I I was a Ride or Die Bleach fan. You know what I mean? And this part two of the 1,000 Year Blood War. This is the conflict. No, this is part three. Excuse me, the conflict. Right? I mean, amazing music. How they've redone the music, bro, without changing its core and its essence, and just really revamping and polishing the work that they did back then, from the animation, like I said, to the music, to the character designs, the freaking writing in this show of stories and bankais that we've been waiting to see for years finally be have a light shown on them, and the character depth that we're able to go through within one episode with multiple people, one episode, the amount of depth that the writer, that TJ Kubo, was able to go into with the writing and the characters, and how the bankais are related, and how everything makes sense, and how you believe all of it, and how all of it is so meaningful and impactful and deep and moving. It's absolutely amazing. And I think I said this in one of my Bleach reactions on my Patreon. I just went on a whole, it had to been like 15-20 minute rant about how I haven't seen better stacks of episodes, episode by episodes, since Attack on Titan season 3. And it's still held firm to that to this day. I just uploaded the finale of Bleach, both episodes, on my channel today, signifying the end of the fall anime season, which was absolutely amazing. And Bleach held up throughout it all. I mean, episode after episode, it kept getting better and better and better and better. I mean, Bleach, all the haters that Bleach have and all the, how they think it's overrated, how they think it shouldn't be in the big three. I'm not even going to get into that right now. All I gotta say is move Dragon Ball to the side, insert Bleach. Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. That's all I'm gonna say. So, big supporter of Bleach. This part 3 of this 1,000 Year Blood War, keep milking it. Give me more Bleach, because I know this is the end. But it's coming to an end. I think the next one might be the finale. Most likely it's going to be the finale. Got AOT freaking PTSD. But I'm sure the next part is going to be finale. I'm going to stop raving on Bleach so we could get through this video. But Bleach was absolutely amazing this year, and it showed how the OGs come out and represent. So yeah, Bleach was amazing. I adored Bleach this year. Next, we have Blue Lock versus the Under 20 arc season, whichever you want to call it. Season 2, you know what I mean? A lot of people were complaining about the animation this season, and I understand not a lot of people are a fan of CG. I understand not a lot of people are like the animation style, the mix. And I remember it was said by my friend that half of some of their studio had been taking my Ufotable to work on something else, or to work on Demon Slayer I believe. So I give them credit, and I give them that leeway. I'm not on their heads about that. From my knowledge, outside of looking in and from what I've seen, I don't know this studio specifically. They don't get paid enough anyway. So I'm not about to come on here and bash them for the work that they do when this looks 10 times better than any of, no offense, but 10 times better than a lot of the Western made things. I mean, how they show the egos, how they show the mental gymnastics that goes into the sport of football, and me being a huge football lover, the true football, you know what I'm saying? Wink, wink for those who know. I think it's double winked. Oh my gosh! But I absolutely adore it. It hits me from all angles. Pause. From the character side, from the story side, from the football side of me being a football supporter and understanding the ins and outs of it and integrating it into this. It kept me hooked, and it's keeping me hooked to watching it. And this was a great season. Was it better than season 1? Yes. I think it was better than season 1. Season 1 was a good setup. This expounded on everything in season 1, and these players, even the new people that they introduced, the captain right here with the blue and green eyes, maybe my favorite character this entire season. And Bachita is my favorite character, but he wasn't my favorite character this season because I didn't get Bachita that much, granted. But if you can introduce a new character in the second season and it be my favorite, that's a testament to good writing on its own, despite the football, despite the animation. Okay, so I don't hold them for that. I didn't like the opening. I ain't gonna lie. I like the ending. I thought the opening was trash. But as far as the show, I thought it was quality. I thought it was really quality. It was a joy to watch week by week, and it was a good follow-up to the first season, which was so phenomenal. So big ups to Blue Lock and the studio that worked on it. Thought they did a great job. Next, we have Yakuza Fiance. I ain't gonna stay too long on this one. A lot of guys may I think watch my channel, but this was a welcome surprise to me. Also put this up on my Patreon. Again, trying to expand my taste in what I watch, and I gave this a shot, and very, very different. That's all I'm gonna say. Very different. As a personal recommendation, I recommend people watch Yakuza Fiance, men and women. It is a great show, and it is raw. It is raw, and it gets to the point, and it talks about real things, genuine things, intrusive thoughts of men and women. And I think it's a great show. Great characters, great plot line, and I look forward to seeing where it goes. Next, we have a remake that was made this year, and it is Ranma One Half. Now, my personal story with Ranma, I talked about it in my trailer reaction to the remake of Ranma One Half. I watched a few episodes of it. I enjoyed the show. I dropped it, right? Maybe because it didn't hold up the animation and stuff, but it really wasn't that. Just life. It happens, right? I can't say the same about this. I watched it all. It's on the Patreon. I watched every single episode, and somehow it got crazier and crazier each episode. I don't know how. It's hard for a show to do that in freaking 2024. I mean, basically everything's been on the table, basically, right? So for it to be able to surprise me more and more each time, the writing is paramount. So the fact that they can pull from the source and not change anything, and it still be as fresh and be weirder and weirder and get crazier and crazier each episode, that writer was cooking. And I think, if I'm not wrong, this is the writer of Udia Tatsu, the girl with the leopard print thing, right? That's the same author. I think it's female, so she's cooking, and she's a testament to saying that females aren't funny, because this show is hilarious. It was the funniest show that I've watched all year, Ranma One Half, the remake. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's on Netflix. So yeah, great remake. This is how remakes should be done. Next, we have Rurouni Kenshin Kyoto Disturbance arc. Love the first season of Rurouni Kenshin. Oh, this is another remake. That's crazy. First season was absolutely amazing. Now we're in the Kyoto Disturbance. This was the first core that came out that I was able to watch in the fall season. The second core is coming out this winter that I'll be doing on my Patreon and continuing that. So this season was it was different from the first one, because now we know Kenshin. Now we're following Kenshin. A big question for me was, are they going to be able to give more story, give more depth to Kenshin? He seemed pretty like on track, if I'm being completely honest. And I don't think it was a bad thing, but I did want to see if they could expound upon more of him more than his ensemble and the people around him. And this showed that Kenshin himself has so much depth and range as a character. And it was such a welcome surprise to see that, when a lot of straight main characters aren't given as much depth in Western media and things like that. To see a straight main character, like in here, like in The Fable, be given so much range and depth, is so refreshing. To be able, because you want to follow that person more, since they're already leading the show and they're the protagonist. It makes you just want to keep watching them more, and you want to watch them continue to succeed. I like the villain in this arc. I think he's going to give a great fight against Kenshin. I like his assistant too, and the 10 people that they build, and they did a good switcheroo this season with a certain person that really took me by surprise. And I was like, okay, Kenshin, okay, you could do that too. You dipping in that too. I see what you're doing. But Kenshin is so good. And again, this is how remakes should be done. The West needs to be taking notes, because this is how you do remakes, baby. In all seriousness, great first core, and I look forward to the second one. Next, we have the Trillion Game, and I believe this is the last one before we get on. I know this is a longer video, but it's a recap of 2024, man. This was a great year, and Trillion Game, I mean, this is one that I just caught at the end of the year. I mean, like it had to have been like set a week ago. I just caught this when all the episodes came out, and I noticed the this frame, and I was like, these characters' designs look really different, really unique. Then it's a Trillion Game, so I was like, you know what, let me check this out. It really piqued my interest. Then I started watching. I'm like, this reminds me of something. This looks from the premise to the character designs. I'm like, this reminded me of Dr. Stone. This is giving me Dr. Stone vibes. Lo and behold, this is the creator of Dr. Freaking Stone. And I adore freaking Dr. Freaking Stone. I'm going to be watching it this winter. So this was, that was like the icing on the cake. Even if that wasn't the case, this is a great show. I really, 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 really recommend people watch Trillion Game. If you don't like Dr. Stone because of the sciencey, nerdy things in the past, because it's not modern, he said, okay, you don't like that, I'm gonna give you a modern version of Dr. Stone, basically. And it's absolutely fire. From the business knowledge, obviously he's been in this business for a while, because some of the things he brings up in here, very easy to understand, very rudimentary, but a lot of nuances in it. A lot of nuance. I really enjoy how this writer writes. He is so intelligent. This writer is so intelligent, and I like the work that I have seen of his, from Dr. Stone to this. He hit 2 home runs out of the park, and I look forward to continuing with the Trillion Game series. Now, it's time to get on to maybe my favorite part of the video, which is the music rankings. So this first one is going to be the overall music. So openings, endings, soundtrack, OST. No, the OST and soundtrack. The next section is going to be openings, endings. So this is just OST and original soundtracks. Now I have Bleach number 1, Don 2, Demon Slayer 3, of course, My Hero 4, of course, Solo Leveling, Is It Gonna Come From Me Till It Change the Girl in Me, absolutely fire. Mushoku Tensei, beautiful. Yakuza Fiance, all I gotta say, if you doubt me, watch it. Kaiju number 8, One Republic, killed it. The opening was good too. Viral hit, Wild Boy. In the OST is sneaky. If you really listen to it, and I'm a person who prefers scores over actual music. If you really listen, so I would classify myself as experienced. Check it out. The OST is good. Then I have Ranma, Oshinoko, dip in quality. Then I have Trillion Game. Remember, this is OST. Hokkaido, The Fable, Tale of the Wedding Rings, and Blue Lock. Now, let's get into the openings and the endings. The most controversial one that I think a lot of people are gonna. I'm kidding, it's not controversial. It's freaking Don number 1. I mean, Don. I mean, how could you not? How could you? If anybody else says otherwise, I think you're capping. You full of shit. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion. How? And the ending is absolutely phenomenal. So, like, it's hitting on all cylinders. And this isn't because of hype. It's just a good song. Creepy Nuts is fire, bro. Everybody knows that. And if not, most people gonna get put on when they come on anime. Now, number 2, I have Trillion Game. You don't gotta watch the show. Watch the opening, you'll understand the show. And if after watching the opening it doesn't make you want to check out the show, then the show might not be for you. I'm being completely honest. If it don't get you fired up to go make a business, then you maybe the show ain't for you. Maybe it's not cut out for you. Maybe you're not cut out for the show. All right. So, Trillion Game as the second best opening of the year. Out of everything I watched, it is the second best opening of the year. And it's crazy that I found these two at the end. Next, we have Bleach. I mean, does Bleach miss? They've missed before, but I think they've only missed like 4 or 5 times, in my opinion. As far as what they've been doing lately, oh wait, no. Part 2 was terrible. I did not like the opening for Part 2. This opening returned to form for them. Ending, oh my gosh, the feeling. Whoever that is that's singing, that made that, the feeling of gray, perfect, bro. I think it's called Monochrome too. Next, we have Solo Leveling, opening fire. The ending is fire. I think it's a. I hope it's a. I think it's a group, K-pop group or a J-pop group. It's the same for Trillion Games opening. It's a J-pop group that does the opening. Next, we have Viral Hit. The opening, I mean, absolutely amazing. Then the ending, more peaceful, right? I hope that I could watch. That I could have put Firefighter Daigo on here. I think that's also another remake. The opening and ending. The ending is probably the best ending of all year. The Firefighter Daigo. If you haven't watched it, go watch the ending for Firefighter Daigo Rescuer in Orange. The best ending of all year. Perfect World. But yeah, so Viral Hit. Then we have Ranma, Fire. Both opening and beginning slaps. Such a fun. Ranma may be one of the funnest openings next to Don Da Don. Then we have Kaiju number 8. Great opening. And that One Republic ending. Nobody got you the way I do. Amazing. The Yakuza Fiance. I really, really enjoyed the opening, and the ending was so full of sass and like feminine like snarkiness. I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. It was amazing. Then we have My Hero. I mean, we all know when we heard the voice on that opening, we already knew it was gonna slap. My Hero really doesn't mess with the music either. Next we have Tale of the Wedding Rings. I really, really like the opening. I don't remember the ending that much, but I really do like the opening. Hokkaido Gals. I like the opening. I think that I like the ending better, but the opening was okay. It was okay. The Fable, the opening is really good. I like the it's like that rugged, gangster Tokyo nasty vibe, right? Not like I know it, but it just gave off that feel, gave off that energy of what the show is, right? Good opening. Is it the best? No. Demon Slayer, they missed on the opening this season. I'm not gonna lie to you, they missed on the openings this year. They're gonna have to get it back, and they're gonna have to get it back. I didn't like the opening. The song just didn't move, and it's kind of in line with how the season was. Just pretty meh. Next we have Mushoku Tensei. Very, I don't really like the openings and endings of Mushoku Tensei like that. I think I like the endings more. But again, nothing to write home about. Then we have Oshinoko. Like I said, they can't touch Idol from the first season, but I'm not expecting them to. But with what they brought for this season, it didn't do anything for me. I was glad to skip it. You know what I mean? And I'm a person that when I watch episodes week by week, I do not listen to the openings throughout the week. So while Don Da Don was going on and y'all was all listening to it all throughout the week and on social media and stuff, I got hit with it on social media involuntarily. But when I'm watching the show, I don't listen to it throughout the week. I only add it to the playlist once the season is done. Then that's when I go on and I enjoy it and I reminisce to keep it fresh. You know what I mean? So if you make me, of all people who likes to watch openings and endings every single week, skip, then you're not doing your job for me. Next we have Blue Lock. Blue Lock had some of the worst music. I'm not gonna lie to you. OST was pretty good. It was it wasn't pretty good. It was decent, and I didn't like the opening at all. I really didn't like the opening. I really did not like the opening. I said it 3 times. But the ending, I did like the ending. I thought it was cool. It was weird. The ending was weird. Oh, yeah. I like that. It was different. It was weird, but I liked the ending song. Blue Lock has always had weird music. But this year, they bottom of the barrel, to be completely honest with you. So that is the music side of things done. Now we can move on to what you guys have been waiting for. In my opinion, what is the best anime of the 2024 calendar year? Now, drumroll please. I mean, was it a question? You thought I was gonna put Don to Don, didn't you? You thought I was gonna put Don to Don. You thought I was gonna put Solo Leveling, didn't you? You thought I was gonna put Solo. Nah. When the OG steps up, this is how the OG steps up. What is, for all my wrestling fans out there, what did CM Punk say to Seth Rollins at the time of this recording? Is 2024. The star is back. Go. You can go sit. You can go back to sit on the bench in the red with the red shirts. The granddaddy, the star is back. The OG is back, and Bleach put every single show in its place to say, y'all disrespected me. Y'all say the show is trash because of all the filler. Y'all say the show is trash because of the clothing and the designs. Y'all say the show is trash because it took so long to come back and make. It, to me, my personal opinion, it clears, sweeps everything. And I don't mean this in a biased way. Wait before you click off. I'm not the kind of person that uses this. Okay? That's the first thing I want to say. I don't use this to prove my point, right? But this speaks for itself when in the similar vein of how when people use it for ALT, right? Look at this. Didn't I say each episode got better and better? Look at that. And the highest it hit was 9.8. That is Attack on Titan level numbers. 9 the entire season. Bleach didn't miss. And in my opinion, Bleach doesn't miss. It is the Mac Daddy of anime. In this year, ALT still, S tier, still the best of all time. But after what they doing here, Cowboy Bebop, you about to slide down from number 2. And Code Geass getting moved down to number 4. Because Bleach is cruising into that number 2 spot for me under ALT. That's all I gotta say. Now let's get to the overall ranking and how I ranked all the shows, right? Bleach, of course, is the best anime of 2024. Next we have Don to Don. So Don to Don gets its respect, it gets its love, it gets it over Solo Leveling for me. It gets it over Solo Leveling. So Don to Don gets its love. Don't come see Don to Don lovers. Next is Solo Leveling. Then we have Mushoku Tensei. Great season. Because it's all built off of the past stuff. This whole build-up is what made this good. Next, we have The Fable. When I'm telling you need to check the show out, personal opinion, you need to check the show out. It's really, really, really good. Next, we have Viral Hit. Then we have Kaiju number 8. Then we have Hokkaido Gals. Then we have Ranma. Then Trillion Game. Then Blue Lock. Under 20. Then Yakuza Fiance, Oshinoko, My Hero Season 7, Demon Slayer, Hashira Training Arc, and The Rings of Power. I said Rings of Power, that people trash on. Tale of the Wedding Rings. It was the weakest of all because it was generic, right? But yeah, this is my list of the best anime of 2024 that I watched. And you made it to the end of the video. Bleach is the king of 2024. You see, it's not me saying, look, he's on the podium. He's on the number 1 spot. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video, I really appreciate you. And might as well subscribe since you're already here. Hit the notification bell. You can go to Patreon. It's only $4.99. It's a Twitch subscription. That's nothing, right? But Don to Don in number 2, it got silver. We have, solo leveling at no, they go from bronze to silver. Solo leveling gets the bronze medal. Down to Down gets silver. Bleach gets the gold. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was a great year for anime. It was a great year for this channel. Hit 200 subscribers finally. After I believe I have really figured out what works for me and my formula, and a balance for me that I can keep up consistently to keep providing you guys with this genuine anime content from somebody who just dove into it and as recently as 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now. So yeah, this is my last video 2024, and it's fitting that it's this. So thank you guys so much for watching once again. Have a beautiful new year, and I'll see you guys for the blessings and the growth of 2025.